Yo, what's up guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Today, just wanted to throw together a video and a walk around of all the cars in my garage. So we're going to be going over the Ram, the Charger, and of course the Viper as well. Three very different cars, some different aspects to cover on all of them. So I hope you like the video. So we're sitting inside the Ram at the moment. We'll start with this one. It's a 2015 5.7 V8 Hemi. It's the SLT model, so it's pretty basic. It's, you know, the most basic one they do. A few modifications on the outside. As for the interior, it is just your standard cloth interior, as you can see. It is the daily, the family car. The wifey drives it every day. Boys' seats in the back. Nothing really special on the inside. Let's head outside. Before we picked it up from the dealer, it's 2015. We picked it up in December. We had them install the custom flares, which I got from Rough Country, the Western side steps and sidebars. We had a 2.5-inch Mopar lift kit, as well as the leveling kit put on. Gives a nice clearance there. And here we got the American Eagle alloys, as well as the Cooper Discovery all-terrain tires. The tires are 285/70/17s, so they're a little shy of 33 inches, I believe. Custom painted black grille, front bumper as well. Then the hood, that was an option, sport hood. I think that looks pretty aggressive. I really like that. Once we picked it up from the dealer, custom green touches in the badges. See the Ram badge there, as well as on the side. Spider headlights I bought after we picked up from the dealer. Installed the Oracle green halos there. And yeah, that's about it on the truck. So next up, we're in the Dodge Charger. We're moving up engine size, so we're going from the 5.7 litre Ram, and we're now in the Dodge Charger, which is now a 7 litre. Bought it brand new, 2012. It was, of course, a 6.4 litre, 392 cubic inches stock SRT when we bought it. First few mods after I got it were the GT House Meisterschaft exhaust system, which has electronic valve control, which is useful because then we got the American Racing headers, which is now straight through to the exhaust. No resonators, no mufflers, so the valve control is good to soften the noise when we need it. When it's open, it's pretty loud. We'll give you a little show of that a bit later. While we're inside the car, let's go over some of the other mods that have been covered since then. As you can see, I'm sitting in some Cobra Monaco Sport bucket seats for the front, the 5-point race harness as well as the roll cage. In the back is just some normal seats now. We did have a sound system in there. We've since removed that and put the seats back in to make it a little bit more practical. You can see some green touches on the dash and in the front there. If we come down to the center console, you can see I've got my E-Level AccuAir mounted in there, as well as some lights as well. Custom front bumper, front splitter. I've since removed the tinted headlights because it's just gone through an inspection. Believe it or not, that would have made a difference in passing the inspection, even though I've got a lot of stuff on there which is questionable about passing. Custom side skirts. If we come round to the back, we can see custom spoilers, tinted lights. The rear diffuser as well is Charge Motorworks, carbon fiber. If we have a look, the GT House exhaust system there. Let me get right under. Flushed in and molded in to the bodywork when we had the wide body kit done. If you want to have a look along the wide body kit, you can see it's a subtle move out of around 3 inches flushed in. reasonable camber on the back wheels. Oracle side markers, we'll switch the lights on in a bit so you can see those, they're pretty dope. Let's move along to the front. You see the front fenders, it's about 2.5 inches it flares out. And again, it's a subtle wide body kit on that. We're rolling on Vossen Works VW S2s. They were custom made. The rear are 12 inches, the front is 10, and they're 20s. The rear we're sitting on 315, 35 20s. The front we're sitting on 265, 40 20s. So they look alright, look quite beefy, not too low profile. Need them to hook some performance on them as well. Wrapped in Nitto NT05s. Here we have the engine bay. As you said, we got the ProCharger. Changed the filter to the Spectrum filter. It's a smaller one. Actually, can never really understand the location of the air filter on this because it's meant to be for cold air, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in here it's pretty hot air. There is no direct flow in. I mean, obviously we've got the wires to the purge kit around there, but this where the airflow comes in through the scoop in the hood does go to it, but it's still sitting on a lot of hot air in here. We've custom painted some of the obviously the tanks and some of the piping for the ProCharger. You can see the Drake strut brace in there, which I like. I like the look of that. There's a lot of strut braces out there. You can see the caps, Billet Technology. Now there's high opinions on the on Billet Technology. I had no issues with ordering mine. They came through to Dubai in no time. Got the Billet catch can down there as well. You can see the hoses there. I actually got them from Hose Candy. There's a lot of different kits for those. There's your engine bay. Okay, now the engine going from a 6.4 to a 7 litre. So the engine is now stroked to a 426 cubic inches from the original 392. Reason we did that was after installing the ProCharger, we thought we were running a safe amount of boost at around 5-6 psi. I had seen on a lot of forums that if you start pushing the 6.4 engine to sort of double figures on the psi, that you're running a risk. You can be unlucky and the pistons will give. There is a phrase of glass pistons, I believe, referred to these engines. I know the old 6.1 is a lot stronger. I used to have that in a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, which I loved. I believe that engine holds boost a lot better. However, so we were running it 5-6 psi, casual drive to work one day, tap, 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 tap. That doesn't sound good. And sure enough, put it on a trailer straight to the garage, and we dropped a piston ringlet. So it was engine rebuild time. So we opted to stroke the engine while having obviously the engine opened up to rebuild and change the pistons. We've got Diamond deep dish pistons, and we've got a Callies crank, Callies forged connecting rods, ARP Hemi studs, block studs, head bolts. We've got Clevite bearings, Manley race rods. We've got Crower heavy duty non-duty heavy lifters, and custom ECU tunes. So that's pretty much about it on what we have done with the build on the engine. The numbers, last time it was dynoed on around about 7 or 8 psi. Bearing in mind it's a 426 now as well. We were putting down around 760 crank, around about 623, I believe, to the wheels. So yeah, that's pretty much the Charger. Okay, and finally, the biggest engine out of the lot of them. We are now sat in the Viper. This is a 2017 model. We picked it up in June. Last black one they had in Dubai, in the UAE. So pretty excited to get my hands on that. As you know, I sold a 2016 Dodge Charger SRT. Sold that and then jumped straight on this Viper when I saw it was available. This is the SRT model, so believe it or not, SRT is top of the range in all the other ones, and it's the bottom of the range in the Viper. But believe me, nothing bottom of the range about this, really. Okay, let's give you guys the startup. I think this is a pretty cool feature. That's pretty awesome. As you know, the Vipers only come, let's turn that down. As you know, the Vipers only come manual, 6-speed, the Tramac 6060 transmission. Loving driving the manual. Let's get outside and have a little look around. Now, as I said, the SRT model is the basic model. Since picking it up, put the TA spoiler on the rear, tinted the rear lights and the ones down in the diffuser. Left the white, I liked that touch. Got the dealers to paint the fuel cap because that was a kind of a flat chrome. Changed the wheels, and of course I had to do it. The custom green badges had to be done. Got the front headlights tinted as well. That's just a wrap. Alright, so let's pop the hood. I love this, it's located under here. It took me a while to work out where it was on the Viper that I had borrowed. So here we have the 8.4 litre V10, naturally aspirated. Amazing engine. Love driving this, love the manual gearbox, love it. Really fun to drive. As you can see there, twin intakes. Nothing's been changed on this engine wise. I am considering doing the engine covers green, maybe the Viper as well with the brace. Not green because it might be a little bit too much. I'm probably going to go black and then maybe green studs. Let me know your thoughts on that.